creeping on up in that top 5, baby, and rounding out the top 5, this guy coming out of Duke. What do they call him, man? The landlord? And this dude, I thought he was going to be decent, man. I really thought he was going to come in and do something. Had a decent career at Duke. Thought, okay, you know, with shorter power forwards like Elton Brand and Carlos Boozer, you know, preceding him. I'm like, okay, this dude may be all right, man. He may be okay. And this guy's more known for, you know, his catch, if you will. Yeah, good job, bro. That's about the only thing you've done.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, way to pick up CP3. And I ain't talking about Chris Paul either. So Sheldon Williams, you are the guy. Number 5, bouncing around. You're still making NBA teams, man. You're still picking up them NBA checks. But, bro, you have not been getting it done to be a top 5 pick. So Sheldon Williams, love your choice in women. Don't like your game, bro. You have not gotten it done. Sorry.
Number 4 on the list was the number 4 pick in the 2000 draft, Marcus Fizer. If y'all remember this dude in college, he was getting it in. Big dude, powerful, and could step out and hit that 3. Kind of looked like the dude on House Party 3 who was the caterer, like the big butcher knife rubbing on his bald head. Like, he kind of looked like dude. Marcus Fizer was killing. And we thought he was going to come to the league and kill. I also have to say, though, he one of those guys the Bulls kind of messed him up. I compared to Randolph Childress. Remember Randolph Childress from Wake Forest?
Yeah.
Portland drafted him when they had Damon Stoudemire and Greg Anthony. I'm like, why would y'all do that, dude? I thought he was, you know, whatever. He would have been better. Marcus Fizer, they drafted him. He is a true power forward. And they already had Elton Brand. They tried to move him to small forward. It didn't work out. I felt like it killed him. Maybe he wouldn't have panned out anyway. But I didn't think he got a fair shake sitting there for a few years trying to play small forward. But that was a dude who really, really got it in like a kind of like a Beasley before Beasley, but even beefier. You know, like he had it. He had it. Iowa State, 2000, Marcus Fizer, number 4, didn't pan out.
Wow. And now we roll into number 3, man. And this guy, this dude was like Jesus in sneakers when he came out of college. Everybody loved this guy. He was a can't miss guy. And when you get Michael Jordan to draft you number 3 over the likes of a Brandon Roy or who else? I think LaMarcus Aldridge or somebody else. Somebody went higher than they were supposed to. And I'm talking about Adam Morrison. Here's a guy that drafted 5 years ago. I don't think this guy's in the league now. Wow. You think Mike want to redo that? I think he does. Unbelievable. I can't blame him though. Coming out of Gonzaga, this guy was the truth. I mean, the kid just knocked shots down. Him and J.J. Redick, they were going back and forth as far as National Player of the Year type recognition. The dude looked like a can't miss prospect. He looked like the next Bird, and he ended up fizzling, man. Last seen in street clothes on the Lakers bench, I think for the first championship run. He might even been on the roster last year, but he's nowhere to be found now. Have you seen him? I haven't seen him. If you've seen Adam Morrison, tell that boy he's number 3, worst number 3 pick all time. Damn shame. Damn shame.
And number 2. Number 2 is a unique position. It's a bust field slot. There were a lot of candidates in here. You had the Sam Bowies of the world. You have the Darko Milicics of the world. There's a lot of people at number 2 for some reason. Sean Bradley. So who could top all those 3 guys I just mentioned? If you put a gun in my head and asked who was the worst draft pick in NBA history, it would be this guy, Hasheem Thabeet. 7'3" out of Georgetown. This man, career numbers, 2.3 points a game, 2.8 rebounds. Okay, we had him here in Memphis, passed up the likes of Stephen Curry, Tyreek Evans. The list goes on. You had people like Ty Lawson drafted way down in the teens who could have helped a lot more. Brandon Jennings. So many people. You couldn't miss with almost anybody in the first round except this guy. They picked him. The dude was just horrible. Part of the reason we saw him in the club one day, the dude was like 7'3", but he was like olive oil. Like the dude, like half of my body at 7'3". So picture that. He got problems. So a lot of people was like, okay, maybe Memphis just didn't know what to do with him. Maybe Memphis sent him to the D-League. How could you send your number 2 pick to the D-League? Well, Houston traded for him, gave up Shane Battier, and What did they do? They sent them to the D League. That should tell you something.
Wow.
That's a problem. Hasheem, I hope you save that money and spend it because that's your last contract, baby. Number 2 pick, Hasheem to beat. It's a problem.
Wow. And number 1, we had a couple of guys that we really couldn't just X one out for the other, so it's kind of a tie. So you get a 2-for-1 at number 1. We got number 1 pick in '98, Michael Olowokandi, and this guy was picked over the likes of Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki, and Paul Pierce. And the other number 1 that was just an absolute bust and had no business being picked that high, Kwame Brown. This guy's career numbers, 6.8 points a game, 5.6 rebounds. You know, teams are still giving this guy a shot. It's like, well, man, you know, Mike took him number 1. It's got to be something. There's got to be something there. And this guy just gives you absolutely nothing, no matter what team picks him up, no matter how many minutes you try to get this guy. So everybody's still trying to make sense of it, man. You got 2 head scratchers by the greatest player to ever play the game. Maybe not the greatest basketball mind in the war room. I don't know. Kwame Brown, Adam Morrison, Mike, come on, bro. What the hell were you thinking?
I think Kwame, with the polka dots and the blonde streak in his hair, could have got more rebounds than Kwame Brown.
Unbelievable.
In the NBA, and I'm dead serious.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Team, that's it. That's the wrap. We brought you through 14 all the way up to number 1, which really kind of leads us into this year's draft. And there's some guys that we like, some guys we're not really too sold on. It's not really a real deep draft. You know, in the past, you know, you might have had some star-heavy, you know, type guys in the top of the draft, and it kind of fizzles out.
This is not that.
Yeah, you don't really see that superstar guy. I mean, I like Derek Williams a lot, and in drafts past, he might be, you know, a top 5, top 10 pick. This guy may actually end up going number 1. And after the tournament he had this past NCAA season, I could see why. Kyrie Irving, you know, coming off the foot injury, came back, had a decent tournament. A guy that's getting a lot of love is Brandon Knight out of Kentucky. That's a guy that, you know, I'm not really that sold on. I'm going to tell you some guys that I like. I definitely like the Morris twins out of Kansas. I like what they're able to do. They're 6'9", they're athletic, they're tough, they rebound, they play defense, and I think they've got better than average, you know, NBA post games. So look out for those guys. Whatever team they go to, I think they're going to be viable contributors early. I like Jimmer Fredette. I do not know why everybody's so down on this guy. Cat 6'3", he can get his own shot. He can shoot from anywhere. He's a space eater, man. You put that guy out there and you got a guy on the block that can score, he's going to create some space. You got opportunities to make something happen with this guy. I'm not saying he'll be a perennial all-star type guy, but don't be surprised if this guy is a Steve Nash type guy with tremendous range. Tremendous range. This guy can shoot it from anywhere. I like him a lot. Another guy I like is a guy that would have been a top 10 pick in last year's draft had he came out early, and that's Kyle Singer out of Duke. This guy's 6'9", he's tough, scrappy, he can shoot it from deep. He makes plays, man. He's just an absolute playmaker. He's a guy that doesn't need 15, 20 shots to make his imprint on a basketball game. So whatever team gets that guy, and I think he'll probably go in the mid to late teens, it's going to be a good player for those guys.